Good morning, everyone. This is Terry. Let's get right into making a large snowman ornament. I'm going to take two of these ornaments, clear ornaments, plastic, that I got at Hobby Lobby last year. I had a humongous pack of them for, I think it was $9.99. And then I'm going to take baking soda and latex paint, and this turns out really well, except when I recreated for video purposes, I didn't get enough baking soda in my paint. Now it looks really dry, but you want it to be a little bit drier than what I actually used. And another thing that happened, I got busy and forgot to come back down here, and after it dried up a little bit, then you come back and use a popsicle stick. Gosh, I'm having trouble thinking. To move that, because when you hang the bulb upside down, it's gonna, there's some of the stuff runs downward. That's how I know I had too much paint, because it ran a little bit more than usual. But normally I catch it before it gets too dry, and I can move that around, and it makes it also more chunky and more dried out if you work at it when it's kind of semi-dry. But I didn't get down here to do that, so my my bulbs didn't turn out as great as they did in the one I made beforehand. So that's the biggest mistake here. So what I'm trying to do, obviously I'm cutting that hanger part off, that piece of plastic, and I'm melting the sharp pieces that were sticking up. So I just want these two to go together. You see me push it down against the my mat there, just trying to make it as flat as possible. So yeah, see how this is going on? It should have been a little bit chunkier, and like I said, I should have came back down here after it dried up a little bit and kind of re-smoothed it, and it would have gave it that chunky, snowy, a little bit better chunky, snowy appearance. But I didn't. I think I got called away for something, and I should have ran down here real quick. Excuse me. But I think I forgot all about it. So it turns out it's just creamier than it should have been. Should have been more chunky. And I guess those are the words that I choose. If you do this, you'll see what I mean by, too smooth or too chunky. It wasn't too chunky, it was too smooth. But anyways, basically just cover the whole bulb. And there's no recipe for making this stuff. You just kind of do it until it looks right, until it feels right. You just want it to be a little drier than what I have it, so a little bit more of the baking soda would work really well. And I'm not sure what the dry time is on this. It's at least 4 hours, because I did mine and then I went upstairs and I got called away for some reason. Oh, I had physical therapy. I didn't get called away, but I just forgot to come back down and fix it. Now this, I shouldn't have cut the hanger part off until afterwards, because it was really hard to hold on to right here. I stuck a big skewer up in there and tried my darndest to hold on to it. I stuck something else up in there too. But anyway, it all, it all comes out in the wash, as they say. It turned out okay that way. So, but it would have been a lot easier if I would have left that thing on there to hold on to. Sometimes, when you leave them on there, though, when you go to cut, it chips big chunks of your finish off, and you don't really want that. So now I'm going back in and I'm going to use a really dry mix to go over top of the mix that I already had. You wouldn't have to do this if you before it completely dries. If you come back over it with a popsicle stick and knock off that thick outer layer, then it, you know, it's kind of chunkified, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but anyways, that's what I'm doing here is I'm making it cementy looking, I guess, but a little bit chunky. The brush seems to be the best way to do it. Now, you don't use your favorite brush because your brush will never be the same. I still use that brush. You know, you clean it off after you're done here. I still use that brush for lots of things, but it's not going to be that good for painting with it afterwards. I just use it for odd things like dry brushing and edges and stuff like that. I use it for Mod Podge. I do like to Mod Podge. So anyways, look how chunky that is there. That's the look that you're going for, and if you can do it in your first layer, if you do it right. I just didn't get it quite right. My bad. Anyway, I don't know why my throat's acting up. I swear I sit down here and I don't cough until I turn on the video. Well, of course I don't talk while I'm sitting down here by myself. Oh, sometimes I have a lot to say to myself. But anyway, I am on day number 4 of no smoking. It feels like forever. I did switch to a vape pen type thing. One of those pre-loaded ones. It's good for so many puffs. And I try really hard to only use it when I absolutely can't stand myself anymore. So I have to get down to 0 nicotine. Okay, so here we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the 2 balls together. So I'm just making a bridge between the 2. So we're going to use hot glue and we're going to stick these 2 bulbs together. And then that's going to be the filler around the 2. And then we're going to use a scarf that I've used for so many projects that I bought from the Dollar Tree. Anyway, just use hot glue to stick them together. Give them a little bit of time to cool off. You know, make sure it's secured. Make sure it's not going to fall apart on you. Anyway, the best thing to use right here is your finger, which I finally figure out. I try not to get my fingers dirty, but yeah, down and dirty. That's the way you got to play it. Get that down in those cracks, and it's more of a holding it together than it is. You're not really going to see it because you're going to put a scarf around your snowman. Here it just looks like a weird looking dumbbell or something, but in the end the scarf is what I think makes it look like a snowman. But I was when I made the first one I was very skeptical. Okay, so the hanger part, you're just going to paint that black, and you can always put a hat on your snowman. I didn't put a hat on him, but this kind of looks like a hat on it even though it's so small. But I just used Dollar Tree chalkboard paint to paint that piece on. Okay, so on this snowman, I should have put... Do I put the eyes... Do I put the nose on first? I don't know, but I got the mouth up too high on it. Yeah, I should have put the nose on first. I'm thinking that's what my problem was, because I just got a little bit too close to the eyes. I didn't get enough dots for the mouth. So, my bad. This one didn't turn out as cute as the first one did, but I'll show you a picture of it when I'm done here. I'm pretty sure it's the other one. The other one turned out super good. This one turned out really cute. As soon as you put the scarf on it, it just kind of ties the whole thing together as a snowman. At first I was like, oh my gosh, I got these ugly balls but after you get the scarf on, it turns out pretty good. I was going to put buttons on his belly, but I decided against it. And see this scarf here? I've used this for so many things. So many things. And it's still going. There, I just cut the bottoms of it to make it look like the fringe is on the scarf. And then it wasn't quite dry yet, so I waited. And it sat here for a day. Sat here for a day before I put the scarf on it, so I did give it plenty of time to dry. You don't want to put the scarf on it while it's wet, because then it might not dry correctly. So excuse me, I am very annoyed with my throat. I woke up with a sore throat from being dry, and I thought it was my CPAP machine that was doing it, but I haven't used it, so I thought, well, I gotta get a new hose. Maybe that's why I'm getting, that's why I feel like I'm sick when I wake up. But no, I think I just need more moisture, because I woke up this morning with a dry throat also. You see, I had tied that first, and then I got to thinking, oh, wait a minute, I want it to go through the hole, and then tie it afterwards, because that keeps it straight when you hang it. And then I put a little dab of glue on there to keep that knot from fraying or coming open. So I hope everybody is having a great day. Today is Wednesday. I have blood work and whatnot to do today, but I have a furnace guy coming. My furnace didn't take a dump, but it keeps doing weird stuff. Okay, so wood slices. I found a small log out in the yard, and I brought it in and used my chop saw and cut me off some slices. And here I found two that just looked like they just needed to be a snowman. So you're going to see me fiddling here with my E6000. I need a new tube. This one's, I can barely get the stuff out of it. I think it dried up on me. But anyways, there's a couple of the logs that already had little flat spots on them, so I'm going to stick them together at the flat spots. And of course, one of my little slices is a little bit smaller than the other, so it works out perfect for a snowman. And the other slices, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet, but I just want you to know before I start painting this, that this sucker sucked down that paint like you would not believe. I didn't want to cover the wood grain. I want you to be able to see the wood grain. There's a little crack down the center, and I wanted it to show through because it's so darn cute, so darn rustic. So I put a little bit of water in my paint, and it just like slurped it right down. And I just kept on. Sheesh. I just kept on putting more and more and more on it until it finally stayed white. And it turned into a really cute snowman, I just gotta tell you. The only thing cuter might be the gnome that I make next, using a Dollar Tree wooden heart. Could have came from the Family Dollar, but I think I got the heart from the Dollar Tree. But anyway, yeah, this is all me just trying to stick it together. Pick off that hot glue and then try it all over again. I needed more E6000 if I remember correctly. I just didn't get enough of it. I have some what we call model airplane glue here that I probably should have used that instead of the E6000. But I'm trying not to waste, I don't want to throw that whole tube away. It's got a lot of glue left in it. It's just the tip. It clogs up every stinking time. Excuse me. So anyway, then I'm checking to see, putting my best foot forward here, which side goes with which. But this turns out really cute. It makes a really cute ornament from something that came out of my yard. So you have just plain old white acrylic paint, and then a little cap full of water. And like I said, it just soaks it up. It just drinks it. What I have those little hearts sitting there for? I don't know. It's hard telling. Hard telling what goes on in this mind. So anyway, I didn't put a lot of water to this paint, but I definitely did not want to cover up the wood grain. So I want you to be able to see the wood grain. That's why I didn't give up and just paint it with acrylic paint. I just keep putting more and more on. I'm trying to show you, it's just sucking it up. I cover it with white, and then it just turns brown again. Like magic. It just disappears. But yeah, then I left it set for a while, and then redid it, and it accepted it, then it stayed white. The wood grain, or the wood, is really pretty. It goes around in a circle. Well, you know how logs, you know how trees work with the circles. We learned that in school, I guess. There's like a circle for every year or something. But yeah, so anyways, I didn't want to cover up those circles, so I used the watered down paint. And I just kept on putting it on, as you can see. Eventually I give up, you think. Anyways, yeah, it's got a nice little crack down the center of it, which makes it really cute, makes it really rustic. I'm just using up my paint now. What I have left, there's no sense in letting it go to waste. I mean, I just keep going, keep going. It's kind of funny. It just keeps disappearing. You just can't tell it. I say this every time I make a video. I need a new camera. I need a new camera with a microphone, or a new camera and a microphone, because I noticed my last few videos have been okay, but the ones before, like 3 videos ago, you couldn't even hear what I was saying. And I mean, my mouth is right up 2 inches from this microphone. I hate to put that yelling aspect into my voice. It's just not me to sit down here and yell at a video camera. Okay, so I think this was after I'd let it set for a while, so it's taken the paint pretty good this time. So I'm turning around in circles to make sure that the wood grain shows through. Yeah, it's holding it a little bit better now. So I'm just making sure not to leave any brush marks on it. So I want it to look natural. And it does turn out looking very natural. Very nice. At least I think it's really cute. I'm going to send it to my cousin. She loves Snowman. Oh yeah, look at that. You see that wood grain? The circles I was talking about. So pretty. So very, very pretty. It's been a lot of time painting these. It's kind of showing right now. I probably could have fast forwarded this a little bit more, instead of sitting here for 15 minutes with a paintbrush in my hand. But I can't do it now because it'll mess up the voiceover, which I already have enough trouble with. I have so much trouble Okay, so the same scarf that I used for all of my snowmen, really. It's such a cute scarf, though. I mean, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Got it at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to say 2 years ago. It had to be 2 years ago. And I just used little bits and pieces of it here and there, and it's just lasted forever. Okay, trying to find the perfect buttons. At this point, I think I was thinking I was going to use 3, but I ended up using 2. And they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be a perfect match, but I wanted 3 small ones. Okay, so now I'm going to do the face, and that's just pumpkin orange or jack-o'-lantern. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. No, it is harvest orange. And just the chalkboard black paint, which has such awesome coverage. I might just switch to that forever. Never use anything, any other kind of black but that one. Just easy to work with. It doesn't, like I don't have to put 10 coats on it to cover something. It just covers it. So anyways, dots for a mouth and the carrot shaped nose. And then put the scarf on before I put the buttons on. That way I see, you know, where I can see the buttons. I want the buttons to be seen. So, just a little bit of glue. Little dab will do ya. Dippity-doo. Older people will remember that. Dippity-doo. A dab will do ya. For hair. I never used it. Never used Dippity-doo. But it's some kind of hair sculpting gel, or I guess gel. Anyways, he doesn't need any arms, any hat, anything. He's perfect just the way he is. He already looks rustic, and he is rustic. He came from the yard. Yep, there he is. Cute little snowman. Alright, now we're moving on to our gnome. And this was so easy. I lost the part of the video where I show you the ingredients. Okay, it's not ingredients. The supply list of what you need. But see that heart there? That's just a simple, thin Dollar Tree heart cutout. It comes in a pack of, it's got, I don't know, hearts and stars and maybe a flower or something. So, excuse me. So I'm using the string off of the Dollar Tree mop heads, and I take one long one, leave it long, and then cut down some pieces to do is it a lark's head knot, macrame type, to put onto the string. Now that's a piece of fabric from a stocking that I bought just to use the fabric, because I it had a big snowflake on it, tore that off and used it. I have another one too, but anyways, I thought, why not use this little scrap piece? It's just been laying around waiting for me to use it, so I went ahead and used it on this. It's really cute, so I just fit this on here, and you're not going to see what I call the butt part of the heart, the 2 humps. You're not really going to see that because his beard is going to be over top of it. So it's the point. It's the point that's important. So, but yeah, this was really cheap and easy. And then a pom-pom. I only had the pom-pom. I only had one with sparkles on it. So he gets a little sparkly pom-pom, but anything will do at the tip of his hat, which is the bottom part of the heart, is the tip. That's our gnome head and his hat. And then you're just going to put the, you can see what I'm doing here. It's macrame, but it's very, very simple, very easy to do. You're just going to do that. That's what's going to make his beard. So you make a loop, put it under the long strand, and then push your pieces through the end and pull them out. It's a knot, but I think it's called a lark's head. I don't know. I learned to crochet, but I didn't have anybody teach me and say this is what this is called or that. I've just seen it on videos where other crafters have called it a lark's head knot. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. But anyways, this is really easy to do, and you can make it as thick or as thin as you want it to be. You can make them long. You can use longer pieces and make it longer. I thought this was perfect just for a little Christmas ornament. So all of these ornaments that I've made in this video are all going to my beautiful cousin Kathy, because she deserves them. She deserves store-bought stuff, I should say. She doesn't deserve all my little homemade stuff. She deserves the world. She's such a sweetheart. I love her so much. But anyways, yeah, like I said, you can make them as thick or as thin as you want. I kind of went medium. I could have squished them together more and used more, but I kind of like seeing that material through the beard. And then I used a tiny little bead for his nose, and I just left it natural. I didn't paint it. There it rolled away. And all in all, this was just an easy little DIY. Easy. Be really easy to make with kids, I think. It would be a little fun craft you could do with your kids or your grandkids. I'll make one with my grandkids, I think. If I can hold their attention. The younger one she doesn't have the super long attention span. I think I could probably hold her long enough to make one of these. Hold her attention. They love to color. They love to use markers. And with enough supervision, they haven't colored on my walls yet, knock on wood. But they're actually pretty good little girls. Put some old hot glue on there and get it, in the shape that you want it to be. And then, afterwards you're going to trim your beard up. Just making sure that he looks good. Glue down your loose ends, and then put a pom-pom on the tip of his hat, and then a hanger, and you've got yourself a little gnome. Yep, trim it down. You can trim it. I kept mine kind of scraggly looking. I think he's cute just the way he is. And sparkly pom-pom. Excuse me. Could have used a different colored pom-pom, maybe a white one would have been better, but I think it turned out cute. It's just that the red in the pom-pom doesn't match the red in the hat so much, and that is red. It's a really bright red pom-pom. My camera never picks up the reds. They always look different on here than what they actually are. So here I'm just making a tie to hang the ornament with. So I just put a knot in it and then glue it at the loop part, and that keeps it hanging straight. if you do it the other way with the loop up, sometimes it won't hang straight.